Good morning, good afternoon. My name is Robert Schmid. I am Deloitte Digital's Chief IoT Technologist, also known as Mr. IoT. This week on Coffee with Mr. IoT, I'm talking with Helena Lisachuck, who is our Global IoT Practice Lead. Welcome, Helena. How are you doing?
Thank you, Robert. I'm doing great. I'd say a little bit too busy because the IoT Congress is next week, but no, I'm doing fantastic. Just up about it.
So, Helena, you're our global lead. Where are you?
At this moment, I'm in the Netherlands. I'm not too far from Amsterdam, but pretty far from where you are, Robert.
Don't tell me it's raining where you are. I always talk about the weather here.
Well, actually, we have what do you call it? Like the whole fall storm season started 2 days ago. We had tornadoes. So I was trying to make it to London, but the whole west of the country was kind of shut down. So yeah, we have tornadoes here too.
Okay. So you talked about the Congress, World Congress next week. You're going to Barcelona. I thought it'd be awesome if you tell us a little bit about the great things we're doing in Barcelona. Tell us when you're going, what are you looking forward to, and what are some of the great things Deloitte is going to show off at the IoT World Congress in Barcelona this year?
Yes, thank you. So there are a couple of things. First of all, just a little bit about the Congress. This is going to be the second year. And first year, it was just the first pilot version, right? Because as IoT and industrial IoT, they're still sort of obviously maturing. It's evolving super rapidly, but it's still sort of maturing on the market. So last year, I think there were about 6,000 participants. Great show, but together with Congress organizers, we are still trying to see what works, what doesn't work. So there were a lot of kind of piloting ideas. This year, the momentum is absolutely amazing. So we are using the same venue as a Mobile World Congress, and probably many of you know about that big event in Fira, Barcelona every year. So number of participants we expect close to 10,000. Great companies. This year, the focus will be very much related to industrial IoT. And so companies like GE, SAP, key industrial players, Bosch will be there. Many other really drivers behind industrial IoT and Industry 4.0. They will be sponsoring the event, demonstrating the latest technologies. The keynote speaker panel is fantastic. So we have the top executives from companies like Intel and HP and Cisco and really kind of the drivers and innovators in the space as keynotes. Also, from our perspective, right, because Deloitte is a professional services company, right? We don't build turbines and sell them as a service, and we cannot say we've done it with a jet engine, right? And the football table will be precisely at our stand. So please do not miss that. It's not going to be content only and the coolness, it's also going to be fun. But for us, it's about value creation. It's about innovation and the business models. However, besides just telling that story in a very sort of, abstract way, we will be giving very specific examples on how it's already working in a number of segments and making it practical as well. Yeah.
You personally, what are you looking forward to going to Barcelona? And maybe I actually would like to hear one thing that you're looking forward to in Barcelona, not outside the conference, and one inside the conference. Tell me.
Inside the conference or outside the conference? Where should I start? Both? Okay. Well, inside the conference, I think it's going to be, I'm sure I will come back next Friday and I will be completely wired and inspired. Because as we were really thinking through the content, there will be so many inspiration, not just technology development, but it's really stretching your imagination what's possible. We also are expecting some kind of like fabulous demonstrations. For example, we'll have great visuals for Hitachi selling their bullet trains as a service. And so we expect some magnificent videos there. They're going to have bar team, the sailing team, talking about how they're using IoT technology in, tracking the whole dynamic about the fast racing boats, etc. We're going to have some holographic demonstrations on big stage coming from labs projected. So I'm not even sure how exactly this is going to be done, but it's going to be magnificent. It's something that the PTCHP and TI are doing together on stage. So I think it's going to be wow effect. That's inside the Congress. Outside the Congress, it's Barcelona. It's great weather. It's not raining. It's fantastic company. And lots of sangrias. So, you just can't get any better.
So if people want to say hi to you, Helena, where will they find you?
They can find me on the floor at the conference at Deloitte booth, or sometimes on stage doing introductions, or just meeting with our key clients and partners.
Awesome. I had a bit of me personally, I met with Michael Rayner, who's going to be one of the keynote speakers. And
Yes.
we talked about his topic. And it was interesting. I have to tell you, when I saw the slides at first, I was like, I don't know where he was going with this, but by the end, when he actually put it together, it was amazing. I loved his 4% versus 96% slide that he has in there. So as a little teaser, go see Michael Rayner at the keynote.
Please do. Yeah.
And he's a great speaker, and I think it's going to be mind-boggling to see what 97% of unexplored stuff will be. So get ready, and all Michael Porter fans, I think you might want to see that too. So with that, I'm going to leave that teaser alone, and just want to let you know, if you're joining late, if you're just joining us now, I'm Robert Schmid, Deloitte Digital's Chief IoT Technologist, and you're watching Coffee with Mr.IoT today with Helena Lisachuck, and we're talking about global IoT, and we just talked about the Barcelona World Congress. So Helena, let's just switch topic for a second. You are a global leader. I talk a lot about what I see in the US. I'd be curious, give us some examples of what fascinates you in the global space that I might not talk about. Some great ideas. I know you do some amazing stuff out of the Netherlands. I often refer to you when I talk about it. Just give us some examples.
Yes, happy to. I'll be very quick, and a couple of and if I don't include certain geography, please forgive me. It's just because we are really a global firm, so we have many geographies. But so there are some very exciting things happening in Germany, for example, and that's really kind of to the point of industrial IoT, where we are supporting some of our clients in building the new IoT platforms to enable the new business models of sort of shifting more physical objects and products and selling them more on a service base. So that's really exciting, and we expect some of the stories to be told at the Congress by our clients. There are exciting things happening in UK, for example, with smart homes. So some of our clients are building labs, some of our clients are piloting various smart devices, home appliances, and coming up with stories around that. In the Netherlands, we are looking and we're gaining, well, I'd say it's really kind of going cross-sector, but maybe some people know Netherlands as one of the countries where it's a major logistics hub. So some of the small things, but interesting, we've done some projects with logistics and transportation of flowers, right? Because flowers are such a key business here. And temperature control, where sensors could help, is one of the must-haves to enable successful transportation. That's a very small example, but in a broader sense, the whole smart city movement, and we look at kind of like hubs as smart cities, like for example, airport for us is a city because you have everything there, right? So we're engaged in some of those activities, and of course industrial companies too. Japan, the fantastic stories coming from the industrial players as well as OEMs, automotive OEMs, building the frameworks and platforms for connected devices, new product offerings and smarter infrastructure, etc. So quite a bit going on there. So that's just a start, right? I could probably go through 100 other examples if you'd like me to.
Hey, smart cities. I work with a county here in the U.S. and I always wonder, how do you feel about the maturity of smart cities in various countries and parts of the world? To me, I'm Austrian, and it was really interesting to me when I renewed my passport, because renewing your passport in the US, it's a bit of a process. You got to the post office. There is some newer ways now, but it's not very electronic, right? And the agencies aren't as connected. And I found that Austria has done this amazing initiative where they really connected all the different agencies. It's all electronic and online. What about smart cities in general? What would you say is one of the more advanced smart cities? And is that by region, or where do you see that? Curious.
Just a couple of things. So it's a big word, right? Smart cities, but probably the two immediate. Well, one is a city, the other one is a city and a country and a region. I would say Singapore is certainly one of the most advanced. The whole series of living labs targeting multiple smart city domains, whether this is health or it's tech or it's environment, etc. We see them being quite progressed. Unusual application of smart technology, similar to your experience in Austria. If you think about Estonia, the whole digital government initiative and connecting everything, and the strategic driver behind it was maybe not so pleasant to talk about because of some of their neighbors, but to enable the whole digital passport for the whole country, that's super cool. And of course, Amsterdam and Rotterdam are making great progress in that. But very recent announcement, and it was just in the news 2 days ago. The city of Tampere announced their smart city strategy based on the ecosystem. And in a period of several months, they attracted 100, slightly more than 100 commercial parties that are committing to invest and support multiple pillars of smart cities, and securing 600 billion investments for the next 10 years. So that's a scale, that's a magnitude, and that's just absolutely phenomenal. I strongly suggest to kind of look it up and Google it and read a little bit more about the details. But some of these stories, and it's sort of like, it's not just IoT, it's not just smart, it's really the ecosystem play that really enabled that. So that's cool to see.
What makes Singapore?
What makes Singapore so smart? Is that your question?
Yes.
Well, starting with probably a lot of smart people. I'll be honest, I've never been to Singapore. I only read about it.
But why is it a smart city? Why do you think it's one of the most advanced ones? What makes it?
I think technology is certainly a factor, but it's also governance, right? It's a city and a state, and decisions are easy to make, and it's incredibly efficient. So those are probably some of the success factors to drive things forward. Yeah.
It's interesting. On my project, one of the things I find is there's plenty of tech to be had. Actually, I've heard of CIOs coming and saying, please don't give me any free stuff, give me the stuff I actually need. And it's been an interesting experience where we're actually helping our client to pick out of all the different technologies what actually works. Because there's so many people out there who give it for free. And and it becomes sort of a hodgepodge of tech rather than what actually delivers value. So it's an interesting conversation, and it's actually sometimes a little challenging because there's so many shiny objects to be choosing.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Helena, I always love when I think of when I visited you the last time, the Edge building in Amsterdam, our Deloitte office, and it's actually an office for other people too, but it's so technology advanced, and we often talk about smart buildings. Actually, next week, we're going to go and talk to a company in New York who wants to make their buildings smarter, not because making the building smart, but attracting a different clientele and really serving their clientele better. What's so special about the Edge, beside it looking like an edge? Tell us about your office. It's really spectacular.
Yes, the Edge is definitely something to see. And so it is, well, I'm not sure how the measurements were done, but it was considered the most sustainable office building in the world. We built it, of course, some of our key partners like Philips and Schneider Electric provided a lot of the sensor and technology behind. So very simple thing, smart lights, right? So the lights follow you as you progress through the office. The whole renewable energy concept and how we use the solar power, how we use the rainwater, how do we sort of balance the power usage, how we balance the temperature. That is all. We actually have the area, Robert, where I took you in our digital corner. There is now this really enormous dashboard. We call it the Edge dashboard, and it shows you kind of this output from all our sensors. Now, unfortunately, it's not done in real time. So these are just sketches. We do want to do it in real time. And that's going to be, oh, where are you? Robert, did you hang up?
I'm here. I had to close my window. My gardener is running around outside, and I wanted to get it more quiet. Sorry.
Okay, no problem. Yes, so the whole sustainability and advanced usage of our kind of more climate environment control elements in the building are quite interesting. We also have a miniature cop, actually a couple of them kind of driving around. So after hours, besides just security guards, we have these little machines approaching you, asking you for a badge. And it's always cute to see with people that are new to the building, you know, that they're being harassed by the robots.
I took a picture of that robot and I posted it on my Facebook. It is actually cute. I mean, I'm agreeing. So there's literally a robot driving around and speaking to you, right?
Yeah. And it's adorable. It's such a friendly guard. Yeah, absolutely.
So, Helena, what happened? So the Edge, where did that go? Give me some ideas what that sparked, because I think it's a great showcase, and I think in itself it made sense, but what are people doing when they come there? Give me some stories. I love how people react to when they go there.
Well, we certainly love to bring people to the Edge. So what really sparked it, I think part of it is really related. It's rooted in the Dutch culture to some extent because okay, I'm not Dutch, as you could hear in my accent. But I totally admire that aspect of the culture. People are just innovative and they want to try. And the whole concept of sustainability is really important to them. So probably, you know, so it's a combination of innovation and sustainable ideas. The building was designed 4 or 5 years ago. It took some time to build it. And then essentially a lot of the sensors we put in was kind of forward-looking perspective. But I'm pretty certain that we only just started utilizing the information that they produce and kind of like channeling your journey through the Edge. Now, people's reaction, besides "wow, it's cool," is different. So the most funny one to watch in my mind is their interactions with our little robot, a police guard. But also when we go to the top of the building, I think Robert, you and I went there, right? We went to the top to kind of see the view. It's open. It's really for people that come in there, whether they're clients or partners, or even employers of Deloitte that are from other buildings. They get energy at the Edge, right? So it's different. It's new. You sit wherever you want. You get your great coffee from a Swiss-made coffee machine, which, by the way, we hacked. It's people get energy. They get creative. They feel that they're part of something cool. And that just gives a lot of positive response. And at the end of the day, I'm convinced it impacts productivity as well.
Awesome. Well, Helena, I think I'm coming to the end of my coffee with Mr.IoT today. I want to give you a chance. Any closing thoughts for any of our viewers? Anything you want to leave us with before going? I always love to hear our sort of like what's IoT at your home. But anything you'd like to say to close it would be great.
Yes, absolutely. So first of all, it's a great pleasure to be here, Robert. Thank you so much for the invitation. IoT is such an exciting topic, and I would love to meet some of you in Barcelona next week. Please visit our booth. Please see our great speakers, Michael. It's going to be a phenomenal story. Michael Rayner. I will have also Mark Catalier talking about Industry 4.0. We'll have fabulous speakers together with our clients and partners. So please support the IoT movement and open this market for us together. So let's kind of team up on that.
Well, Helena, thank you so much. It looks like this coffee break is coming to a close. I want to thank Helena. It was great to have you. And please join Rachel and me again next Friday, 9 a.m. Pacific, noon Eastern, for another Coffee with Mr. IoT. And by the way, if you missed any parts of today's conversation, you can watch the whole episode again on my YouTube channel. With that, have a good one, guys. See you in Barcelona. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.